Thank you, Bryce. You can go for Bryce, actually. That is funny. Bryce deserves more than that. Come on, everybody. So, did everyone have a good Christmas?
Yes.
Apparently not, because that was fucking shitty. Christmas was a good time, right? Enjoying those wonderful traditions that we all do. Opening up stockings on Christmas Day. Waking up for that alcoholic and diabetic coma with all the fucking eggnog. And of course, Elf on a Shelf. Did anyone here do Elf on a Shelf, by the way? Thank fucking God. You know what I hate most about Elf on a Shelf? Is it's creepy as shit. We'll get to that in a second. But it's a Christmas tradition that dates back to the good old time of 2005 that was started by a book called Elf on a Shelf, A Christmas Tradition. And I'm like, okay, so that movie I made in 1999, John Says Christmas, now that's a Christmas tradition. And all you need to buy it, watch between Christmas Carol and Once a Wonderful Life, is that's your new Christmas tradition. That's how fucking disingenuous that is, right? And also, apparently it was already bad enough that you got creepy Santa who knows when you're awake and knows when you're sleeping. Now you get this dead-eyed little doll that sits on a shelf over here and stares at you, creating new phobias for you and your children. Which also makes no sense, because if I just go in the other room and beat the shit out of my sister, Elle's not going to see that, right? I don't know, maybe it'll make sense when I get kids, but I'm at that age, though, where we either get a cat or a kid, and we went for the cat because it is way easy to return one of those. So, I know that from experience. Maybe. But we got this cat, and I say we actually because my fiance got it and I just paid for the thing. Because I'm allergic, which is really depressing to think about that Superman is weak to kryptonite, and a small mammal weighing about 8 pounds is between my knees. But you're probably wondering, John, how did you get a cat? Well, let me tell you how we got this cat. Because women have this amazing power. I'm not mad, I'm jealous and admiring of it, where you get what you want by just slowly nagging us and wearing us down until we finally cave. And it's wonderful. For example, they're getting married next year, and we're like, she's like, we should get a cat. I'm like, oh, we'll just wait till after the wedding. It's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, sure, no problem. A week goes by. Oh, I bumped into the landlord in the hallway, and we just paid a damage deposit, we can get a cat. Oh, okay, well, maybe we'll look at getting one in the summer. A week goes by. I come in, and there's a cat breed book on the fucking coffee table about this thick, and it's like Encyclopedia Britannica. I had no idea this many breeds of cats existed. It blew my mind. I'm like, oh, okay, what's this for? Oh, it's just so when we're ready, we know what kind of cat to get. Oh, okay. A week later, let's go to the SPCA. And you know it's game fucking over, right? I'm going to try the same approach with her, but I'm going to approach it with anal. So I'm going to mention it, and then she'll be like, okay, maybe a year from now. A week goes by, I talked to her landlord, and he's cool with watching it, that's alright. A week goes by, she's going to come, there's going to be a lubricant and a porno magazine on the coffee table. And when I finally wear her down, she'll put that strap on for me. So. That's wonderful. But we got the cat from the SPCA. Anyone else here ever get their animal from the SPCA? You depraved motherfuckers. I don't blame you though, because that place, you go in there and it is just fuck that place. I mean, they do good work in those pets' homes, but oh my god, as you go in there, it's like the Green Mile, but it's way more depressing, you know? And we have this little cat, it's over here, we liked it, and we came out and she's like, oh, did you like the cat? Oh yeah, we like that one. Oh, you like that one? Why, what's wrong with it? Oh, nothing, it's just, she has been having a good time. Well, what kind of bullshit statement is that? Of course she's not having a good time, she's the fucking SPCA already. Like, what, is she on some sort of cat suicide watch? We had to cut her nails, hide the yarn, take away the sleeping pills. We decided to go for the cat though because I'm not ready for kids, so I'm not going to go out and get a vasectomy. A friend of mine got his vasectomy actually a few weeks ago, and here's what happened during the vasectomy. He's laying down there spread out like a frog on a biology table, ready for dissection. And he just looks at the doctor right before the incision, he goes, so doctor, when'd you get yours done? I didn't get it done, are you kidding? I see what goes on down here. Condoms are good enough for me. Now if that was me, I would have got my ass off the operating table, down to Costco and buy a shitload of magnums for later. Who am I kidding? It's not magnum, it's more like 9mm, my stomach cock. But condoms though, that's always fun when you buy them, right? Anyone remember their first time buying condoms? The magical experience that was? Yeah, you do. For me, I definitely remember because let me paint this story here for you. I'm going to the mall with my buddies Tim and Sean. A little bit of background story. I was raised Mormon, so buying condoms to me was a weird experience because they don't teach you safe sex at all when you're Mormon, right? They want you to have as many kids as possible. In fact, you're like the freak family because it was just me and my brother, and you have other people around like weirdos. I drove up with 2 minivans filled with these motherfuckers. What you guys been doing? And then they repented because fuck is a bad word to them. So anyway, we're at the mall, and I'm like, well, I don't want these guys to know I'm buying condoms because for some reason, the world knowing you're going to get laid is embarrassing for some twisted reason. So I'm like, you guys go to the food court, I'm just going to go over to Shoppers and eat some gum. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, sweet, home free. So I'm jogging into Shoppers, run down to family planning, and just stop dead at the wall. There's so many. Because, you know, TV's ruined you. There's just like the condom. I thought it'd be like Acme brand condom, grab it and go. No, there's different sizes, shapes, and flavors. Because I'm like, well, that's weird, because who the fuck will put a condom in their mouth? That makes zero sense. So as I'm struggling, okay, the clock is ticking. What am I going to do? I have no idea. You know, I'm going to probably be pretty terrible. So let's get for her pleasure to kind of give me that little bonus point. And the second I put my hand on the box, Sean turns in the corner and yells across the Shoppers, "He's buying robbers!" To which Tim replies, "What? John's buying robbers!" I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm so close. I'm not getting defeated by these bastards. So I snatch the condom box off the wall, go up to the counter, drop on the counter, and the clerk's like, "You must be John." And I'm buying rubbers. That's okay, I paid it forward with that kind of embarrassment though. Because years later, I had to go into a porno store with a girl I was dating. And I hate going into porno stores. Not because I hate porn, I'm a male with an internet connection. Of course I love porn, right? But you go in there and it's just like, it's expensive, there's not a lot of variety. Because after you go on the internet, there's everything there, right? And you're like, this is sweet. You go in there, it's expensive, and if you don't finish the video, I kind of feel like an asshole. I'm like, man, how is Anal Cheerleader Street going to end? I need to know who did it! So I'm like, I don't really want to go in here. And plus, there's always that awkwardness, like, you know, well, who here's rented porn with their partner? Round of applause. So everyone started dating after the death of video stars. That is depressing as shit to me. You know, because you go in there and you're like, you know, especially if it's the start of the relationship, you're just like, well, I don't want to come off too weird, right? Because you know the situation, like, what'd you get? I got girl next door 3, what'd you get? Mistress Wonka the Fisking Factory? That's mildly awkward, right? So I'm like, how the hell am I going to get out of here, you know, look around, you get the judgmental clerk behind the counter, because yes, he's judgmental, because I was at Roger's video and I definitely judged all your movie rentals. So I'm like, I know, so I formulated this plan. So I run off into a random corner of the store and just start freaking the fuck out. Oh my god! Oh my god! She comes running over, what? What's going on? These people are naked! And she goes bead red and pulls her hand. But she still turned to rent her porno video, and those judgmental stares I got from the clerk got doubled when I went up to the front. So. That's okay though. The problem with internet porn though is after a while you just start getting into weirder and weirder and weirder stuff, so I had to go back to jerking off to Facebook just so it gets a little bit normal. So. It's like, sweet, Suzanne's back from Mexico with swimsuit pictures! Who would have thought all these years getting friends of mine, all these attractive women would pay off, right? So, but that's just a little bit weird again, right? Because you get that cute girl next door and you're like, she's cute, but I really hope she has like a dungeon where safety words are not allowed, you know? And then, so I think it's kind of weird and weird too, because now, like, my aunt posted a photo of a quilt she was making the other day, and I'm like, man, I could totally fuck the shit out of that quilt, so. Yeah, you've seen that quilt picture too, haven't you? So, but what's really ruining when I'm pounding off on Facebook, though, is when I see the Mom of the Year Facebook posts. What I mean by that is, I'm not talking about the real moms out there that are doing their job, but when you get bullshit like, I got up at 7:30 to make my kids breakfast. Oh, how old are your kids? 4 and 5. Oh, cool. I'm glad you can take time out of your busy fucking schedule panhandling for lives on Candy Crush like a panhandler vagrant. That's not true. Vagrants are not that obnoxious. To make your kids that bowl of frosted flakes, you could totally Instagram and show everyone that you did. You know? Like, my mom was Mormon. She didn't give a shit. She just did it because she wanted to do it, right? So, that just really pisses me off. Yeah, I mentioned being raised Mormon because that was a really odd time in my life. Because basically I kind of stopped believing it because I was like I was Mormon the same way you remember Columbia House, right? You know, you kind of subscribe to it, get what you want out of it, but then after a while you kind of realize something's not quite right, so you ignore the flyers. ignore the door. They realize the Columbia House is a fucking asshole. Because they don't make a lot of sense, right? Like, for example, don't worry, the Mormon church isn't sexist, but if you're a woman, you can't have the priesthood. The priesthood is their, like, magic power that lets you do stuff. Like, for example, when you're 12, you can pass the sacrament, but you can't bless it. When you're 14, you can bless the sacrament, but you can't heal the sick. So that means if your grandmother shows up, she's sick, bitch is out of luck, right? So, but the shitty part is when you get to that level of magic for the next level, it's not like you have to do a bunch of tasks, right? You literally just wait 2 years and answer a bunch of questions. And Mormons just think you're honest and don't think your line's just the worst interview process in the world. It's like, so, are you doing drugs? Nope. Are you having sex? Nope. Are you masturbating? Nope. Cool, come on in, welcome up. Like, can you imagine if that was a courtroom procedural? It'd be the most boring courtroom procedural on the planet. Do you swear to tell the whole truth, so to God? Yep. Were you there on the night of the 13th? No, good, you're good to go. Get off the stand. But they also kind of have like weird double standards, right? Like one time I was drinking a Pepsi, and I got caught drinking a Pepsi, so I want you to wrap your head around that for a second. Apparently caffeine is a drug, and a drug is a sin. And this mom runs up, she's like, you can't be drinking that. It has caffeine in it. And I'm like, well, weren't you eating a chocolate bar earlier? That's got caffeine in it. Well, it doesn't have that much caffeine. Oh, so it's okay to do a little bit of cocaine, but not a lot of cocaine. I'm going to really try that with the RCMP next time they pull me over. Oh. And also, like, for Mormons, heaven is like a club, exclusive club you have to wait to get in, because if you're not Mormon, you're not getting in. So you're kind of waiting behind a velvet rope. But you're like, well, John, how'd you get in there? Well, let me tell you, they believe in, let's call it baptisms for the dead. That's where they take names of dead people, recite them, and then dump them into the water, and then that person's in. Like in heaven, they get to walk past that bell and go, yeah! And then they get in and realize it's like the generator is just fucking terrible, right? So I remember having to do this, and I go submerging in the water, and you're in this room, and there's like mirrors all around you. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they filming this? Oh my god, it's like a porno shoot, and I realized, wait a minute, I never really gave my consent for this spirit to go through me, so I'm like getting ghost raped right now while they're filming it. And that is not cool, bro. Not cool. But they still do it 10 more times, you're just crying the entire time when they do it. It was really awkward. I got smacked. The really kind of like the really last weird thing that they do is they have this magic underwear that they wear beneath their clothes, and it goes like from here down to here. It looks like an old-timey bathing suit, right? But it's also a one-piece. They have the flap in the front for the dick and the flap in the back for the ass. So you can take it off when you go to the bathroom, right? But it's protected from evil spirits, as well as fire and bullets, apparently. Now, it was really weird because like I see my mom doing the laundry with the stain remover. I'm like, well, wait a minute, if it can't protect against stains, how's it going to do against bullets and fire? You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. That's okay. If anyone really feel bad about my dad for that joke, don't worry about it. He's dead. Apparently, that thing doesn't protect you from diabetes. So, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, you did.
Jon White again, ladies. I was on John's sports show and I really liked him as a person.